Hello everyone, I'm Alan, also known as Claren2009, and today I'm back playing Derail Valley. I'm picking up where I left off last time that I played, and what I mean by that... Okay, I'm gonna have to change the settings again. We're not ready for that. Okay, so basically I'm picking up where I left off last time that I played. Put that away. I don't need that. Okay, so what we've got going on, I have 3 DE2s at the moment. I'm about to go grab a 4th one, but before I do that, I need to go... Actually, no, I need to do that first. Alright. This load is heavier than I would like. So, what I need to do is, in order to take this load up that mountain, I need more power. So, that's what we're gonna do. Alright, let's get that. So it cools off a little bit in my office here. Alright. Alright, now we're all set. So, we need more power in order to get this load up that mountain. So, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get a little bit more power. Let me check. Something is wrong with this picture. Okay, no, my audio's working. It's picking up the game, it's picking up my microphone, it's picking up the background music, but I can't hear the background music, but that's a whole nother thing entirely. Basically, I'm still kind of debugging my streaming process. There are some growing pains that we're going to have to deal with. Alright. Now, originally, the plan was that I was going to just take the 4th DE2 and connect it over to this one, and then use the remote control as like an improvised distributed power. But that's stupid. What we're gonna do, what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna grab this DE2. I don't know if I'm far enough forward. But we're going to grab this DE2, hook it up to that one, disconnect it from the rest of the train, and put these two on the... That was weird. Put these 2 engines on the head end of the train, so we have all 4 connected using MU cables. So they're all controlled directly, and we don't have any like lag between the 2 sets of engines. And I can use the controls at the exact same time. Alright. Alright, this is the front. So, good news. Alright. Alright, we need lights. Oh, thank God, they fixed that too. It was like the weirdest thing, right? Like, instead, it used to be that you could press the button with the trigger, but for some bizarre reason, it was like switched around and it was done with the grip button, and it was like the weirdest thing. I like hated it, but it's whatever. Alright. Actually, since we're currently doing it this way... Alright. Now, I do realize that this is going to get extremely expensive. Alright. No, not that. Alright. So the good news is that the engine is facing this way. So all we gotta do is just back it up, and it'll be facing the correct direction. Sort of. It's gonna be a little bit weird. Basically, we're going to have 4 engines, 2 sets back to back. How's it going? Yeah, I temporarily took a break from streaming because I was down in Georgia learning how to be a train conductor. Now I moved into a new location, and I just ran through that switch anyway. Oh, damn it. So, yeah, I was learning how to be a train conductor in real life. And now I'm set up in a brand new place. And I have an off day, so I'm able to stream one more time before I go back over the road. I cannot describe how happy it makes me that the switches work with the trigger again. It was the weirdest thing using like the grip button, but it's kind of like whatever. Alright, so we need this switch. No. Okay. I'll figure it out eventually. Alright, so yeah. I won't be able to stream as often, but I will still be able to stream when I'm in the city where my apartment is. And I'm on rest days. So yeah, playing Derail Valley wasn't enough. I had to learn how to play with trains IRL too. Now, granted, Derail Valley more so has you playing the engineer and the conductor. Alright. That's probably a little too fast, but it's whatever. Alright, so as I was saying, the current plan is we're going to grab this engine, hook it up to that engine. We're going to take both of those engines off of the back of the train. We're going to run them around the Y onto the C track. And then back up the rest of the train, hook up both of those engines so that we now have 4 engines on the head end of the train, and we're going to get this intermodal load out of the harbor. couldn't do it with 3 engines, so we're going to try it with 4. Unfortunately, it's going to cost a small fortune to refuel, but it is what it is. Alright, so we got to slam on the brakes a little bit. Alright. Let's do what we're not supposed to do and hop out of the cab real quick. Because I need this. That switch needs to be lined for the E-track. Okay, hold the button a little longer. And all's right in the world. Let me check my inventory. I do not have my EOT lantern. It is still on this engine. Which you're probably going to think it's freaking stupid. Why would I put the EOT lantern on that when it has a red light? Alright, should spawn in. Is it in Lost and Found? Oh, no. Okay. No, not that one. That one? Nope. It is, in fact, this one. Okay. Okay, where is job booklet? Okay. I don't like how... Alright, this is going to be a painful process. Okay. Alright. So, we have the EOT lantern in a weird place. Alright. Now, the thing I have to check and see... It doesn't particularly matter which way we do this. Grab that. Is it not showing? Okay, I will have to check to see if the commands are working on Streamlabs. Okay. So that is still done with that. Oh, I need MU. There. And there. Yeah, I don't know if the stream commands are working at the moment. They're supposed to, but it's anyone's guess if they actually do. Alright. Okay, so that's still done with that. Alright. Okay, that's released. Alright. Okay, now this should be set with the red light facing aft, and it is. Okay. But we gotta get up in here. And all of that is on. Alright. Okay. Now, I don't think we're in position. No, we're not. We're going to have to go the other way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up in here. And there. Throttle up. Or, why is that on? Okay, not important. We don't need to worry about it. Alright, so we gotta go the other way around the Y. We gotta go over there, but we just have to pull over there. Sort of. And then we gotta go back up to the front of the train, and we gotta back up the head end back to here. But we gotta back up a little bit farther. And the reason we gotta do that is so that we can put these on the front of our train over there. Which actually means I could have saved myself a lot of trouble and put the EOT lantern on there, because that is going to be the end of my train, but we aren't there yet. So, baby steps. Okay, there's the Y. Alright, so we got a plan. Okay. I am much happier since my computer isn't messing up anymore. I can actually slightly increase the graphic settings. Now I'm up to medium. And my computer doesn't sound like it's going to explode, so I think I'm doing good. Alright. Alright, we are well past the switch. Grab the remote control. Line that. Okay, we had to change some stuff around because the reverser was going a little bit weird. I am doing good. How are you doing today? Basically, the reason I took a break from streaming is so that I could learn how to be a train conductor in real life. So I actually do some of this stuff, but now I get paid to do it. Alright. Now we got that open. opened up. It's going pretty good so far. Alright, I need to make sure I'm clear of the switch. Do not want to foul the switch. Alright, so yeah, being a conductor is going pretty well. I mean, I'm still technically a conductor trainee. I'm not a fully operational conductor yet. A couple more weeks. But the point is, I got moved to a new area, and I have an off day today, so I was able to do some laundry, and since my computer is working properly now, and it's no longer like crashing, failing to start, knock on wood, because of that, I was able to stream again. I won't be able to stream consistently yet. Alright, let's apply some brakes. Get these set up over here. I won't be able to stream consistently yet, but at least I'll be able to stream every once in a while when I have an off day. Is that on the main line? In game, no. In real life, yes. I am on a Class 1 railroad here in the United States. I specifically work for Norfolk Southern. Alright, so let's go over here and put my EOT lantern on the back of this car. Alright. Okay, you go right there? Okay. Alright, so now we gotta go up and grab the other end of my little consist here. You didn't know you could mount the end of train lantern? When you're playing in desktop, like 2D mode, there's a little prompt that tells you can click it and hang it back there. But I guess it didn't show up in VR for some reason. Like, I could have sworn it was there when I played last time, but I guess I'm getting old, my memory's failing. Alright. Let's grab this. Oh, and since this... It's like this specifically is going to be the rearmost locomotive. Alright. We need to set up this. Left. Okay. We got our lights set up. Alright. We are actually going to need all of these. Oh, this is still applied. I don't think I have any of the brakes still tied. Okay. Alright. So, now that we got that tied into the MU, let's throttle up a little bit. Alright, now we're going to back this thing up, get it clear of the switch, clear enough or far enough back that we can fit our other light consist in there. Let's hit the horn. No, put that back. Damn it. Okay, that's a bit weird, but it's whatever. We'll make it work. Alright. I have not gotten to yet. And the reason I have not gotten to try any of the new engines yet, this game, or the simulator update came out for this while I was in training. And it was before I got everything moved up here to my new location. So I didn't have my desktop yet. Did it below the... Alright. Let's see. Not sure what happened there, but like I was saying, I didn't have my desktop, so I only had my laptop. And the reason that's kind of a big deal is I found out that Derail Valley now uses cloud saves, which is generally a good thing, except the problem was I first opened up the game on my laptop where I did not have a Derail Valley save. So that meant when I created a brand new save, from, like, starting completely from square one, that meant that became my cloud save. So then when I finally got my desktop installed and set up, and I opened up Derail Valley for the first time, my cloud save is now specifically that save that I started on my laptop, and my good save with about $2.3 million is completely gone. I don't have the slightest idea where it is, so this is currently the only save that I actually have access to. So I said I was going to start over when Simulator came out, but I wanted, I wanted to use the good save to buy the new licenses for sandbox mode, but that just didn't happen. Okay. Alright. We need to make sure we're clear of the switch. So let's throttle up a little bit. And we'll actually use the train brake this time. Alright, now let's climb up in the cab. And let's release that. Let's turn off the headlights for now. And let's tie a handbrake. Realistically, you need more than one handbrake, but since I work in the US and I'm used to a completely different setup for coupling, locomotives, all that fun stuff, we have a completely different system. So I don't know how to test like the slack with this to do a proper, what we would call a C102, which it's specifically the rule number in our operating manual that tells us how many handbrakes to set to secure a load in place. Derail Valley is much more simplified than what we do in real life. But that's another thing entirely. So, all you really need to do in this is you just tie one in the yard. For the real railroad, our rule is at least 2 brakes and as many as it takes to hold the load in place. But obviously in Derail Valley, we don't need to worry about that. It might be no, I have to do it from this side. Okay. So Alright. I did not set a handbrake on this one, so... let's not throttle up too far. Alright, so now we're going to move this over, couple into our engines over there, or couple into our rest of our train. And then we will have direct control of 4 engines to get this, I didn't think, heavy load up the mountain, but it appears it's rather weighty. To about 5 so we don't break anything. Now originally I was going to do it using the remote to have like a distributed power / helper system, but that got a little bit weird. Okay. Now... alright, so we got all of that off. Let's release that. Now we're going to go down here, grab this, connect, grab this. I'm inside of the train, but it's whatever. MU. Okay, now we set a brake in this cab right here. Okay. All right. And good news, we are well clear of the switch. Well, I shouldn't say well clear of the switch, because that's not 225 feet. But we're far enough away that I can still flip the switch. Okay, we gotta change some things. Okay. So... alright. Now we're set up. So, red light aft. And Alright, now we got everything out of our hands. It's a slightly more complex process, but it's not too bad. Alright. Alright, now we should, in a perfect world, we should have enough power to get up this mountain. If we don't, we're gonna have a problem. And I'm going to be very sad. So we get a good run up the mountain. Let's try to get up to like 35 or 40, and I should be fine. Maybe. Alright, let's go to notch 2. If this doesn't work, I'm literally out of options. Yeah, it's like if this doesn't work, I'm kind of out of options. Because there are no more DE2s here. So if this doesn't get up the mountain, I'm gonna have to go the other way. And I really, really don't want to do that. Speedometer is going up, not down. Alright, 400 amps. Yeah, the DE2 cannot pull worth a damn. So I really need to unlock preferably the DH4, but the DM3 would probably be a good one as well. Alright, good news. We made it. We're not out of the woods yet, but this is the farthest I made it since the last attempt. So 4 engines was enough to get this godforsaken load out of this mountain. Alright, we need this right here. I mean, it doesn't matter, because I can't see my position on the map anyway. Alright. Let's notch it back. it's kind of interesting that since I started working for the railroad, the way that I look at my simulator games has changed a little bit. And what I mean by that is I'm not an engineer, so I'm not actually trained on anything to do with proper crane handling. I'm barely trained as a conductor. So how you actually run a train through the mountains like this, I see it done every day, but I don't actually know how to do it. But I'm starting to realize that this is probably hands down the best train simulator on the market right now. And this game is freaking awesome. Because it does a lot more to show you how these things work. Like, you actually have to be conscious of how much power is going to your traction motors. You have to make sure you don't overheat them. You've got to accelerate slowly so you don't overload the motors. Also, so you don't start breaking cars and couplers and all that fun stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Let's set the air a little bit. Now, we're still going uphill for the most part. So I'm probably going to regret stopping or releasing the throttle completely. But we're just gonna have to make do. Apparently they made the Doppler effect like less crazy. I think it was how they described it in the patch notes. But I cannot say enough how much I love this update. This is like awesome. The fuck is going on over there? You know what? Not gonna worry about it. We got enough problems. We're not dealing with it. Alright. So, the area that's going to be a problem is going to be just outside of the steel mill. Why is the steel mill going to be a problem? Because I'm pretty sure the switch is lined for the steel mill, which means I'm going to have to slow down to a crawl to make that turn. To go towards the machine factory instead. So I have to make the decision of, do I want to get the DH4 or do I want to get the hazmat license? I'm pretty sure I won't be able to get both. Not yet, anyway. I mean, more than likely, what I can probably do is get the DH4 and do a couple of jobs in the yard and make that work. But more than likely, it's going to cost a small fortune to refuel all 4 of these things. Which, if I had bigger engines, I wouldn't need 4 of them. But you're not supposed to use the DE2 to actually haul things. It's literally a yard switching engine. You're supposed to move cars around in the yard and nothing else. They have like a rated capacity of like 250 tons. And you might be thinking, well, this one's only 343 tons. Why the hell do I need 4 of them? Well, the thing is, that's 240 tons on flat ground. We aren't on flat ground. In fact, coming this way out of the harbor has a pretty steep hill. And as you get up in grade, your load rating gets a lot lower. Like anything over, say, 1.5%, cut the tonnage rating in half. See, on the real railroad, it would be kind of hard for me to show it because we don't have it in print anymore. But in the timetable for my division, well, actually, it's company-wide. Or it's a company-wide policy that all of the division timetables have engine or diesel power ratings. So every type of engine is categorized into one of 6 groups. And each group has a rating for a certain tonnage on a certain section of the rail. And basically, we can tell you, going over this grade with this many engines or with this much cargo, you're going to need this many engines in order to do it. And the idea is you always want to have just a little bit more power than you need. And then if you start slowing down or stalling, basically what's going to happen is they're going to have to dispatch a helper engine or a helper crew, which will more than likely be 2 engines that will connect to the back of your train and give you extra power up the side of a mountain, up a rather steep grade. So that's what I attempted to do with the first load that I had going from the steel mill to the machine factory. I only had 1 DE2 leaving the steel mill, but I was carrying a pretty heavy load. And I didn't realize just how much the DE2 got nerfed. So I was going past City Southwest. There's a hill that takes you all the way to the machine factory. Well, I stalled on that hill, blew the traction motors on the first engine, went and grabbed the second DE2 from City Southwest, and tried going back up the mountain, stalled again, blew the traction motors on the second engine. So then I finally went back to the City Southwest, went back to the station office, paid the fees, found out that the copay when you don't have any licenses is like literally $100. So I fixed both engines, and then I just went back and forth between the two cabs at the head and tail end until I had enough power to get up the hill. Well, then I took those two engines and I made a delivery to Food Factory? Yeah, Food Factory. Came back down to bring that stuff into the harbor, and then I got this load of intermodal containers and all that other intermodal containers and boxcars, reefer boxcars, I think. And I attempted to take it up the hill to get to the machine factory, except I couldn't get out of the harbor. So that got me into the situation that I'm in right now, where I had 4 engines. Now, in theory, I could go back and shut off the half of the engines, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Not yet, anyway. Alright, so I also think that now that I have about half the licenses, basically the copay is higher. I think I have like an $18,000 copay. So it may or may not be cheaper to just use insurance to service the engines. Because right now, you look at this, I've got $27,000, which isn't much, but it gets the job done. Alright. And we're still going downhill, so it's not too bad. Alright, so we gotta try and get... Alright, that's a 60. So I should be coming up on the interchange to get back to the steel mill. Alright, if I look at the map right here... We're already past that. So the question is that the first interchange or the second? I think it's the second. Yeah. Because if it was that one... that would be taking us back to Forest South. I don't think that's what that interchange is. I think that's what this interchange is. And if that's the case, that means we're right here. Yeah, this doesn't look like that stretch of track. Alright, so we just passed that intersection. So we should be coming up on the switch. Well, we'll be... This switch will be with us. Because I'm not going to Forest South. Alright. So you gotta hold the inventory button for a little bit longer so that it goes away, but it's not that big of a deal. Alright, now the thing is that this area is all downhill. And getting back to the steel mill, when we make that first left, just south of the steel mill, basically what's going to happen is we hit quite literally the steepest hill in the game. It's not fun to go up that hill. Luckily, we're going down it. But the thing is, I'm like 90% sure that the switch south of the steel mill is lined into the steel mill, so we're gonna have to stop it up here. Alright. You can go pretty fast through here. The problem is I gotta make sure my speed is controlled somewhat. Because once we're out of this little valley here, that's when the switch comes up. Okay, it's a little bit past the valley. It's kind of funny. In real life, I wear sunglasses up in the cab. And the all of the engines have sun visors. Still haven't used it. I just wear sunglasses, but the engines have sun visors, and when you're on like the medium graphic settings, you have the glare. Oh boy. All right. Hit the brakes a little bit. Alright, now the question is, what position is this switch in? Luckily, okay. The base game, I don't know if it's on the roadmap, but in the base game, it doesn't seem like running switches hurts you. There's the realism mod that running switches cause damage. And I don't know if they're planning on putting that into the main game. It wouldn't be a bad mechanic to have, because that is actually how that works. If you do what we call running through a switch, what that means is you're on the trailing end of the switch, and you basically slam into the inside of the switch, and you force it over to the other side. This destroys the switch, And if you back up against a run-through switch, you're almost guaranteed that you're going to derail. Because the switch is kind of like in this weird intermediate gray area where there's a gap on both sides of the point of the switch. And so half the train's going to go one way, half the train's going to go the other way. And at some point, something is going to give, and the cars are going to start popping off the tracks. So if you run through a switch, well, for one thing, report it to the yardmaster. If you tell them you did it, they're still going to be mad at you, but they won't be as mad at you. If they have to find out that you ran through a switch, you're probably fired. But that's not important. The way the game works is that if you run through a switch, it'll just automatically spring to the other position, and it's no harm, no foul. There are real things there are real things called spring switches that you can run through them without it causing damage. Except the thing is, if you do run through it, you can't back up. Because the way that it works is the switch is set in one position, and there's a spring that will push it back to that position. So you run the truck where the axles are mounted pushes the switch out, and then as soon as the axle is clear, it springs back into place. So it stays in the position that you set it in. That's not a problem if you complete the movement all the way through the switch to where you're clear of the switch. If you don't, it's going to spring back into its original position. And then if you try to back up, everything that's in front of the switch is going to go back the way that it was originally lined for, and you're going to derail. But the good news is, it's designed to not break when you run through it. They're not as common, I don't think. Like in school, they didn't even really tell us about them. Doesn't sound like they're in much use. So we just passed through the farm, so we're going to come up on Oil Well Central, and then City Southwest, and once we get past there, we've got to we have the uphill section to get to the machine factory. But because I haven't done it since the update, there's still one area up here that I still don't trust. But it should be. In theory, maybe. Alright, gotta drink real quick. Alright, oil well central. Because with overhauled, I would go through here with MU to DE6s, and they would just break apart completely at random. The way I understand it, they knew what was causing that. And it was fixed in simulator. So, we'll have to wait and see if my favorite turn up here around the corner is still going to hurt my feelings. It's a little bit past here. Because there's still the switch that goes towards the... Okay, that's the sawmill. Forest Central, Forest South, Sawmill, Steel Mill. Okay. Because there's still the first switch that goes towards the sawmill. And that's not the part that was the problem. The problem was this turn right here. In between the two switches. This turn specifically was the one that always broke my trains. So, fingers crossed that hopefully we won't have that problem this time. But there's always that possibility. How are we doing on fuel? 3/4 of tank. And it's probably the same for all 4 of them, except for the very last engine, which I accidentally opened up the sand using the remote control, and I didn't need to. Alright. So, in theory, as long as we stay under 30 through this area, we should be good. Should be. We might not be, but it's a nice thought. Oh, actually, that's another thing. Well, that probably hasn't changed. Because there used to be a thing where you could tell the area that it was going to happen because, like, the tracks would be overgrown with, like, weeds and grass. Now, the way they explained it, the track hasn't been fixed yet. But the thing that was causing derailments and for stuff to break was the switches, and they have been fixed, but the terrain has not yet. So there are still like some graphical bugs and stuff like that. Alright, so it should be this right here. Because that's a Y, that's not a Y. Actually, that might be a Y too. But point is, past this around the next turn. Okay, and as you can see right here, the grass is still up. So this is where it started becoming a problem. So you gotta keep your eyes peeled. It used to be a thing that you had to go like less than 20 through here. But hopefully that's not a thing anymore. Okay. Alright, let's throttle up a little bit. Yeah, that turn back there is what was killing me before. And then we're gonna need some speed to get up the hill going towards the machine factory. Alright, nothing's going on in chat. Let me double check, make sure it's still picking up my microphone. It is. Alright, so that's good to go. Alright. Oh, it is a Y. Yeah, can you tell I've never gone to the forest or sawmill intentionally? Alright. It goes down to 30 for that corner coming around City Southwest. I can't even imagine trying to do this before Simulator. Like in Overhauled, I used MUDE6s for everything, and I could only fuel them in places that they could both fit. I don't know if there's a single place in this game that can actually fit 4 DE2s. A DE2 is kind of small, but I don't know if there's anywhere that they actually fit. Alright. Oh, it's 50. Oh, no. See, it's 30. See, I would remove the 50 sign. But the thing is, with the railroad in real life, we don't have speed limit signs on the tracks. I mean, there might be a few in like a handful of places, but for the most part, you get your speed limit from your timetable. And you also get it from PTC, which is Positive Train Control, which is kind of like this automated system that tells you what's going on the tracks. It's synchronized with your cab signals. There's a trip optimizer that automatically controls the engine. All the engineer has to do is match the throttle position with with what the computer says it should be in. It's supposed to save fuel, but it doesn't always work as well as you would like. Alright, now I gotta be really careful on this hill, because on my first trip in the simulator update, I destroyed 2 engines' traction motors. So, we're going to try not doing that with 4. Especially since it's going to be a little more costly to fix them now. Alright, we're doing good so far. Alright, when the speedometer starts to kind of bounce like that, that means the slack has come in and it's kind of like gonna hold speed for a little bit, or at least that's how I think I understand it. I'm years away from going to engine school, but it's just stuff you slowly start to pick up. Funny thing is, I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks. And the part of my real job is the stuff we do in the yards. Even using the remote control is pretty close to what I really do. I'm not a remote control operator. I might be one day. But it might be a while before I have the seniority to take an RCL or RCO course. I might be a manager by then. Because that's a thing I've been thinking about lately. Started thinking it might be cool to be a train master. But that's a thing for the distant future. Alright, as long as our speed's going up. It is not. Yeah, the D2 kinda sucks. Not gonna lie. But it's what you start with. You gotta make it work. And since the disastrous attempt at running or trying to get up the mountain 3 times, I don't think I'm making the time bonus for this delivery. But I also drive slow anyway, so even with the more lenient system that we have in Simulator, I'm still gonna reach a point when you get all the licenses that the time bonus still isn't gonna matter. But I've only got about half the licenses so far, so it's not that big of a deal at the moment. I gotta figure out what I'm eating for dinner today. That's gonna be interesting. Nope, gotta throttle up. Okay, because that goes left into the mountains. This takes you to the bridge, which takes you to the machine factory. And this is 1% up. So probably going to regret not having a running start at this. But keep an eye on the ammeter and the temperature gauge. And it should be good. Still a long way from the machine factory, but at least we're in the part of the trip where it's not as bad. Because once you make it to this point, you're doing all right. And right over there is the machine factory. But the thing is, I don't remember which way I have it lined. Normally what I want to do is I line it so that you turn right here, and then you get around the corner, and you go into the C track instead of the B track. It is the C track, right? As long as we have all of the engines up here. Oh no, that's a problem. Alright, now this has to go to C4I. Alright, put that right there. Grab this. Put that right there. I don't need to worry about that. Alright. Now let's step outside real quick. Okay. Alright, let's make sure our tracks are lined first. Alright, that one's good, and that one's good. Now, the thing is, in real life, they tell you specifically not to do this right here. It is going pretty good. How are you doing today? Alright, now, the thing that I was just talking about, what they tell you not to do in real life, is what we call target shooting. This thing is called a target. It's usually a colored indication telling you which way the switch is lined, except the problem is the color If it doesn't match the position that the switch is currently in, that means the switch has been run through. So they tell you don't target shoot, so don't look at the colored target. Instead, look at the actual point of the switch. So you look where this gap is. So gap and go. That means this switch is lined to go that way. Oh no, you're fine. My last stream was a little bit weird anyway. Luckily, today I had an off day, so I was able to stream again. So yeah, in real life, look at the point, not at the target. But Derail Valley is not quite like real life, even though it's probably one of the most realistic simulators out there. So, target shooting, bad. Point, good. Alright, now let's go over here. It's also worth noting that where the signs are marking the tracks, in a perfect world, this sign would be at the clearance point. And what the clearance point is 225 feet from the point of the nearest switch. So the idea is if you pass the clearance point, you're not fouling the switch, so nothing's going to hit you. Yeah, apparently there's like a entire American-focused DLC in the works. But that's for the distant future, like a couple years out. So optional Knuckles and probably a terrain modeled after like the desert. That would be my guess anyway. Because I don't think they would pick the East Coast as like the inspiration for their American DLC. Because the East Coast doesn't look too much different from this. So if I were them, I would pick somewhere out west to base the terrain off of. Nope. I'm gonna regret that decision. Or maybe not. Although it is raining, so it's going to take a little bit longer to stop anyway. Alright. Let's grab my marker. No. Okay, and we are going to do the right thing. I actually really like the simulator update so far. And that little end of train lantern, it's like one of my favorite things in the game so far. Alright, the game says you only need one handbrake, but the policy in real life is at least two. So the ones that I work on, I'm going to set 2. Alright, now I should be able to pull forward back down the loading track and go from there. And then I can get over to the roundhouse. Alright. Okay, so that's still grip, but this isn't. No, that's grip too. Okay. So, let's go over to the station office, turn this in. Yeah, about the save thing, it's kind of a frustrating process. You see, I had a good save on my desktop where I had about $2.3 million, and I was going to use that good save to get all the licenses. Well, the update came out when I was still living out of the hotels, so I didn't have my desktop. So I didn't have a save on my laptop because I never really opened the game. So I started a brand new save when the simulator update came out, and I found out that Derail Valley now uses cloud saves, and generally speaking, using cloud saves is a good thing. Well, the thing is that... Oh no, I didn't make the bonus. It uses cloud saves, and my new save became the one that my new save that I started on my laptop became my cloud save. So when I finally got the opportunity to open the game on my desktop, when I got everything set up, that brand new save that is now my cloud save is currently my only save. So I completely started over from square one. I was planning on doing it anyway, but I wanted to at least get the new licenses first, but that ain't happening. So instead, we're doing it this way. Alright, so let's set this up. Got my EOT lantern back. Alright, we need to get lined up with the loading track. Alright. And we gotta get our 4 engines over to the roundhouse. Which, the reason I have 4 engines is because it was a little bit hard getting out of the harbor. I needed more power. So I got more power, and even with these 4 engines, I barely got out of the harbor. So the decision... that I'm currently facing is I have to decide that once I get these refueled, do I want to get the DH4 or the hazmat license first? I need to be on that side anyway. I'm on the wrong side of the switch. I do not have the DM3 yet. Alright. Okay, that's lined for the loading track, but this isn't. The reason I want to go straight to the DH4 is because it still works with the MU remote. Whereas the DM3 does not have MU capabilities. I've currently got about half of the licenses. Alright, wait for that to clear. Alright, good. I am going to get the DM3 license, but right now I'm trying to be able to make longer deliveries without needing, like, a small army of DE2s. So I should just work up and get the DE6. But I figure if I can turn these 4 DE2s into, say, 2 DH4s, I'll probably be doing alright. Alright, I might check out your stream. I'm not sure yet. I gotta figure out what I'm eating today. But hopefully it was nice talking to you. Alright, so I need to get on the head end over here. Or what's currently the head end. And let's get on the engineer side. Alright, good to go. There's not a ladder on this side, but... Or there's not a door on this side. You gotta... That was stupid. Okay. Okay, let's get back over to the conductor side. I need this. And the first switch is this one. Even though it doesn't do anything yet, let's not run through switches. Yeah, might as well. Alright, let's jump off here. So we can get this lined back for the inbound track for my next trip up here. Even though I gotta go off into the woods to go get the hand car, because I have the key for it. I'm curious to see where they're going to put the key for the slug. And also where they're going to put the barn for it. I didn't think that a slug could have a cab, but it turns out that they can. Because we have one at work. I didn't know it was a slug until the engineer asked me if I noticed how much quieter it is than the other engine. And then he explained that it's quieter because this one doesn't have an engine. So that was kind of interesting. So a slug is a brick with no engine, but it has traction motors. And then I found out that a B unit has an engine, but no traction motors. Let's just get run over real quick. But the good news is, it's kind of like you're like some kind of demigod that has like an obsession with running trains. It's why there's nothing else in the valley. Alright, more than likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these into the roundhouse to get them refueled. And then I'm probably going to stop for the day because it's been 2 hours now. And I still got some other things to do. Okay. Now, the question is, I don't think I got the license for manual servicing yet the last time that I was here, so the turntable might not even be aligned, or might not even be set up for me to go into the roundhouse. So it's going to be interesting. Because right now I have $60,000, which isn't bad, honestly. Alright, so about 20k across the turn, or not, yeah, 20 kilometers. It's like 20 kilometers across the turntable. Alright, we got another DE2, a DE6. Is that a 2? Yep, we got a 2. We got a 6. Don't have a 4 or a 3. Alright. No. Let's... Alright. Hello, welcome to the stream. let's put this into neutral. Alright, now let's begin the daunting task of getting all of these shut down. Alright. Off. Off. That's good. Let's turn this one off. Alright. Cut that off. Alright, let's go over here and set this one. Alright, no. That way we got 2 handbrakes set. Now, when we service all these, it's gonna get filled up it's gonna get they're gonna all get set anyway. Alright, so grab this. Alright. It's probably not far enough, but it'll be fine. Alright. Okay. It's gonna cost a freaking fortune to fill these things up. Alright. No. I used a lot of oil. It had some wear and tear on the engine. Had some wear and tear on the traction motors. Dear God, $31,000. Okay, where did it go? It got eaten by the floor. $12, $91, $97. Okay, 6, 12, 91, and 97. Okay. Well, that was expensive. Alright, let's put this back. Alright. So since that cost $31,000, it would have been cheaper to just pay it in the station and do it automatically. Oh well. Especially since, to add insult to injury, there's still going to be a few $1,000s in environmental fees. It might be like 2,000, maybe. So hopefully it's not too bad. Alright, the remote's freaking out. Alright, now the thing is, I don't have enough money to do much of anything. Because I can't afford to get a license. Alright, I gotta see what's in the office to get. I gotta see what jobs are available because I gotta walk out of here to go get the hand car. Yeah, I gotta walk out of here to go get the hand car. And then I gotta go to City Southwest to get the key for the caboose. Then I gotta remember where the garage is for it, which I don't remember. Alright, so drop that in there. Don't need that anymore. Huh? Okay, so no environmental fees. Yeah, because I need 40 grand to get hazmat. Wait a minute. If that got paid, then... Alright, so the copay is still remaining. Alright, let's... No. Okay. Okay, so that's all there. Alright, now what do we got? We can haul cars. No, put that down. That's going to the steel mill. That's not a good idea. Alright, so probably the best bet is gonna be to unload those. Alright. Alright, so I need to get... Do I want to do the job, or would it be better... Let's just go get the handcar. Alright, it's going to be a bit of a hike. Because I need... It might be easier... Yeah, it might be easier to do it from Iron Mine West. Alright. Alright. Alright, so we need... on the north end. Alright. Two. Those are pretty good. Alright, yeah, that goes through the tunnel. Alright, I need a lantern. The funny thing is, my real lantern probably weighs as much as the Rift controller. Or I should say it's as light as the Rift controller is. Well, maybe it's a little bit heavier. But the point is, my real lantern, I can easily throw it around just like that. I really like the lantern in this game. It's such a cool, addition. The day-night cycle is also awesome, and it requires you to use the lantern. Pro tip, do not walk through a train tunnel in real life. That's how you get hit by a train. There's enough space in here for the train and the cargo. And not much else. This is probably the single dumbest way to do this. It would have been easier if I had just taken a job going north and then just walked back. Or I could have taken an engine. Well, at least the rain doesn't extinguish your lantern. It'll help put out fires, though, so that's pretty cool. Alright, now I need this. Alright, so turn left, then right. Because I've got about 30 grand. So what I could do is just get the DM3 license. But I'm not sure yet. Alright, so that goes out the other way. Although, if I have to be honest, I think the textures for the rocks in the ballast, I don't think they look right. I think the rocks look too soft. Or they look kind of dull. Because, like, the ballast rocks are, like, sharp and pointy. These look too round. It's also really, like, awkward and uncomfortable to walk on. But as a conductor, you walk a lot. So you get used to it. Get some padding in your boots, and you'll be fine. Let's see. Oh, you can't pin the lantern to the carabiner. You can only carry it, or set it down. Alright, now this switch, I go right. It costs 30 grand to refuel those 4 engines. So I need more power to do bigger jobs. But I can't get more power until I have more money. Because I don't want to have to use 4 engines all the time. That's just insane. I really hope this is the right track. Because you look at the... not that. Yeah, it's just long. But the real question I have to ask is if this is the right garage. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do it again. Although, if I have to do it a second time, I'm just going to come back with an engine. Huh? Oh. Didn't know this was out here. Oh, that's the Ghost 060. Supposedly it only has half of it set up. It looks pretty cool. According to the patch notes for the update, this should be ready next week. This should be... Okay. So, we got the hand card. Now, let's go to City Southwest. Alright. Let's put that away. I need the shop, which is over here, I think. It's not this building. It's always visible from the passenger terminal. That's right there. that's a problem. Alright. Reginald's garage key. Yep. Okay, it's... Alright, now I got about $3,000. Alright, so that'll give me the caboose. Funny thing is, that's not the station office. Because that looks like a DE6. And that is not what I need. Yeah, that's a 6. That's not going to help me at all. I mean, truthfully, I didn't need the caboose. It's a lot of hassle to bring it. And now that I have the key for the garage, I still gotta remember where the garage is, so it's not gonna do me a whole lot of good. Alright, let's see. Alright, well... I want to say that the only other siding the garage could be on is right there. Oh, wait, no. No, because that's the house. I think it's down there south of the machine factory. But the problem is... Can't do anything with that. I don't even have an engine, so I can't do anything at any of these anyway. Alright, let's go... It's a stupid idea, but let's go back to the harbor. There will be jobs I can work on in the harbor. It's just... it's up in the air as whether or not I'll even be able to get out. But if I get a couple of good shunting jobs, nope, can't do that. More than likely, I won't be able to do that. Alright, I need... that's food factory. Now that's an option. That's hazmat. That's hazmat. And basically this was a stupid idea. But oh, no. God, no. Okay. We got food factory, food factory. This is probably the best bet. After this. 2 pickups. We got 108 minutes to do it. Alright, so more than likely that's going to be the best bet. It's like that's probably going to be the move. Do that, then that. Alright. So, I've been doing this for a little while now. So, as a bit of a recap of what I have managed to accomplish in this stream, I got back into the game, moved around some engines, so like moved around some engines, got everything set back up onto the head end, carried a relatively light load, but it was still too much for DE2s to handle. Got them from the harbor to the machine factory, went and got the hand car out of the garage, so I have that now. I got the key for the caboose, but I have to go get it out of the garage. Came back to the harbor to get a couple of jobs. And yeah, that's about it. Didn't get any new licenses today, but I did buy the key for the caboose and unlock the handcar. But that seems like as good of a stopping point as any. So this has been Derail Valley. Let's overwrite that. So yeah, it's been a couple hours now. I'm gonna try to stream whenever I have off days, but my schedule's kind of a little crazy, a little chaotic at times, so it might not get to too many times, but at least the point is I'm able to stream again. So, for now, this has been Derail Valley, so thank you all for watching, and hopefully you have a nice day.